Hey guys, welcome back to Algebra. So today we're going to do a quick refresh on what we talked about yesterday. You're going to have a Google Classroom question based on the homework yesterday, and then we're going to start something I don't think you've done before. If you have, don't tell me, because then you have an easy section. But if you haven't, this is super important. You're definitely going to see it in college. So let's talk about a word problem. Oh no, said everybody. But don't worry, these word problems are easy as pie. So the question is, the following data was collected. Did they prove with 100% accuracy that these things are correlated? In other words, that these things affect each other. So what are they trying to connect? They're saying that your age directly correlates to the amount of jobs you have. Okay, well that seems like it might be reasonable. Let's see. The data they collected, they found that when you're 15, on average you have half a job. So in other words, most people had 0, some people had 1, in the middle you had half. By the time you're 17, you usually have 2 jobs. By the time you're 19, you have 4. By the time you're 21, you have 2. These are averages. Does this seem very believable to you? Well, let's see what they found in their findings. So, we need to figure out if they're correlated. So that's where Desmos comes in. We're going to come to our graph, which hopefully you saved, and we're just going to plug these numbers in. For our x's, we have 15, 17, 19, and 21. And for our y values, we have half, it's trying to guess already, 2, 4, and then 2. All right, so let's look at our graph. Do you see how it tried to create the line of best fit? Does this look perfectly accurate to you? Maybe not so much. In fact, how accurate was it? I think my thing is in the way. My R2 value ended up being 0.836, which rounds to 0.84. So if I take that R value, I got 0.84 times 100%, remember, and that gives me an 84% correct answer. So the question was, did they prove with 100% accuracy that they're correlated? Heck no, they didn't. They only got to 84%, which is still pretty impressive. I promise you these statistics were completely made up. It's not actually like this. I hope most 19-year-olds don't have 4 jobs, or we're in more trouble than I thought. But do you see how this can be useful? All right, so that's good. There's going to be some Google Classroom stuff on that today. Let's talk about parts of the graph. And there's only 2 real parts that we need to be aware of. So on our graph, there are some important pieces that we talked about in our notes yesterday. Zeros and our vertex. So on Desmos, it is delightfully easy to find our zeros. All you have to do is click on where your graph intersects with the x-axis. And do you see how these 2 gray dots appeared? Let me zoom in a little bit. A gray dot appeared here and here, and if you move your mouse over it, it'll tell you what your x and your y values are. So what are my zeros here? Well, do you see this point on the left here? It says 14.836, 0. So where y is 0, my x's are, the first one is 14.836, and if I move to the other side, my other 0 is 22.65. And that's really as easy as it is to find your zeros using Desmos. Um, Wonderful little trick. You can use the graphing calculator for this too, it's just a little longer. What about our vertex? Well, it also shows us that with this gray line up here. It shows us that our vertex is just the point 18.743 and 3.339. These things are that easy to find like this. We're going to figure out how to find them algebraically tomorrow, but what I'd like to do is also give you an exercise where on the graphs we're doing tomorrow with our tables, I'm going to ask you guys to find the zeros and vertices as well. So just to show you another example, to hammer it home, I'm going to come up with a bunch of random values for my table. All right, so let's say my x values are 1, 2, or 2, 3, and 4, and my y values are 12, 13, and 16. I go to where my graph is, and I end up with this shape. And I think I accidentally made it work really well. But where are my zeros? Where does it touch the x-axis? I have no zeros. What's my vertex? Clicking on the bottom of it, it's 212. It's that fast to find. What if I changed this number, or what if I changed this number to 12? There we go. Well, now it's touching the x-axis. What would be my zeros here? Well, if I click on it, it shows me my zero is negative 0.0606, and my other zero is 6.606. Oh, well, that's nice. I didn't even mean for that to happen. So as you can see, finding those things is super easy. So for the Google Classroom work, whenever you're getting a graph for the homework, grab those details as well, and it should go pretty quick. That's all I'm talking about today. Tomorrow we're talking about standard and vertex form, and I think that'll go over pretty well. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Be prepared, it's a little more algebra heavy than online calculator heavy.